So I've grown up in Memphis my whole life. Moved around a little bit, but ultimately have never left the city. So Kristen Ann was born in Memphis and grew up here, but her father's a pastor, so she's moved around the southeast a bit. But ultimately Memphis is home. It always has been. You know, early on when we started dating, I think it was only just a few weeks in, she realized that she had a call for missions. She really felt like missions was a part of her future, and it was something that God had put on her heart. And I had shared that, really that wasn't a calling that I had. That wasn't something I felt like God had for me. And I just know definitively, unless God puts a definitive call in your life, that regardless of how good that work is or how beneficial for the gospel it is, if God is not calling you there, then you don't need to follow.
Early on, we did a lot of mission trips before kids, but once kids came in, that kind of halted. But that desire to just go and do was still there. And back in March, I guess, I was at the homeschool conference and I spent the night with a childhood friend, and she kind of just brought up this thought, are y'all ever gonna move from Memphis? And I was like, well, Sean, he loves FedEx, we're good in Memphis, I don't see him ever wanting to move. I was like, but there is a FedEx in Amsterdam. And so she kind of latched onto that and was like, what? You need to do that. And just that kind of started a little seed in my heart, just thinking hey, that could be something that God could really use our family through FedEx, but He could really grow our kids. And one thing that I've always prayed for them is that they would have a heart for the nations. So I went home from that trip and I brought that up to him, thinking he would not be about that. But he kind of got on board and thought, hey, that would be something that we could maybe do. It was scary, and we thought, hey, maybe in a couple years we could seriously consider that. And then a few weeks later, God kind of brought an opportunity to us.
We got down to a point to where there was 1 week that we had to give a final yes or no. And we had decided, we're going to fast and pray through that time, because this is a tremendous decision. The Sunday that we started to fast, it's ironic. So I had been following in my daily reading every morning, and literally this Sunday that we started that morning, before I even missed a meal, was Genesis 12, about Abraham being called by God to leave a land of his family that he knew that was structure and safety for him, and go to a land that he did not know. And he gave a yes. He immediately got up and left and did not know where he would land. And a lot of things about this decision were complete unknowns to us.
Different times during that week, he would text me is this hitting you like it's hitting me? And I knew in that moment, something is different, and God is working on his heart, and we're about to go.
Obviously in a decision like this, fear plays a tremendous issue. We really felt like God was affirming to us that, look, a path here in Memphis with Bellevue and in this community is a incredible mission, but we're also seeing open doors to go into a new land that has great need as well. Both paths fine. I think the major difference there was a lot of fear, and particularly through just that biblical account of Peter walking on water and just affixing his focus on Christ, regardless of what is happening around you. When you really take fear out of that equation, it became very apparent that this is a tremendous opportunity, obviously enabled by a profession, but to go into the nations, admittedly to share with our children, to teach them about different people groups and nations, but ultimately to connect and encounter and engage couples and young people and old people of all walks of life from all over the world to know Christ and know Him more. When we evaluate the opportunities that God has given us, we do it from a missional perspective. And this was an incredible opportunity for our family's ministry, just the future for our children, to leverage a professional opportunity that was available for gospel advancement and kingdom work as well.